Allegations of abuse within a Vermont religious community. This time, though, it's not involving the Catholic Church.
6 people have filed a civil lawsuit saying when they were children, they were sexually abused by church elders within local Jehovah's Witness Kingdom halls.
The Jehovah's Witnesses have settled 9 lawsuits alleging church policies protected men who abused children.
You're about to meet a young woman raised as a Jehovah's Witness who says she was molested by a fellow church member and that the church had been protecting pedophiles within their midst.
Case, a Jehovah's Witness leader is in jail tonight. 76-year-old Ronald Lawrence faces 19 counts of lewd acts that date back more than 30 years.
According to the U.S. Marshals, McLean used his power as a Jehovah's Witness to lure young girls.
A third in a series of civil lawsuits against the Jehovah's Witnesses is happening right here.
A lawsuit against a Sussex County Jehovah's Witnesses congregation is moving forward.
Who may now find the courage to speak out, even facing disfellowship by the church.
We learned that 16 victims were paid the largest settlement in history of Jehovah's Witnesses, but forced to sign a gag order that forbids them from speaking about their abuse. It's a worldwide problem that is of epidemic proportions within the organization, and no one knows about it unless your child was molested.
As an example, think about the apostate-driven lies and dishonesties that Jehovah's organization is permissive toward pedophiles. I mean, that is ridiculous, isn't it?
This allegation, I take it, when it came to you, you would have seen as a serious one.
Absolutely.
And the matter was reported to you because you were in a position of responsibility?
Yes.
Did you take any notes?
No, I didn't.
Can you help us?
I may have done at the time, I'm sorry, but...
you may have done?
I may have, but...
Where are they now?
They would have been destroyed.
Why?
We don't like to have any notes outside of what's kept on file in the congregation.
Why don't you like to have notes of a serious allegation?
There are brief notes kept in the file, but all other notes are destroyed.
Why is that?
I guess it's because we don't want them to fall into the wrong hands of other people to find them and they go through.
So if you're not satisfied that this person will not offend again, then you won't reprove. You'll disfellowship.
Yes.
And when the person's disfellowshipped, they then can still attend meetings and so on, but under some restriction, is that right?
Under a lot of restrictions.
Yes. And members of the congregation cannot associate with them socially.
Socially or spiritually?
Yes. But the person is still otherwise in the world and can associate with people outside of the church.
Yes.
And you don't take into consideration, do you, how people outside of the church might be kept safe from such a person whom you're not satisfied will not reoffend?
If they were outside the church and they were a close friend, I would tell them.
Well, and how would you know if they're a close friend and they're outside of the church?
If they're a close friend of mine.
A close friend of yours?
If I was.
Yes.
If I associated with them.
Well, what about people who are not close friends of yours, others than outside of the church? You don't take any steps, do you, to protect them from this potential reoffending? You don't, do you? You're concerned with the congregation principally, aren't you?
We're concerned with the congregations. We are shepherds of the congregation.
Yes, and you're not a shepherd to those who are not in the congregation.
No.
And as an organisation, in your experience, you don't seek to protect or take care of children who are outside of the congregation. You don't take consideration of children outside of the congregation.
Do take consideration of them, but what ability have we got to protect every child in Australia?
Well, what you can do is you can report to the child protection authorities.
And that is done in some cases.
But generally it's not done, is it?
No.
It's not done unless there's a legal requirement for it to be done, is there?
That is true.
Fact of the matter is, we have a very aggressive policy to handle child molestation in the congregation. And it is primarily designed to protect our children.
But within the congregation, ours is a spiritual protection. When we're talking about physical protection, that's up to the secular authorities to provide.
The family unit is under a vicious attack in these last days.